Welcome everyone to another cast which I haven't done in a long time when I intended to do them a bit more regularly, but I'm back. Anyway, to start off the game we do have Tex, also known as Double D's in this game, playing as the Lord Commissar, and on the other side, on the red team, we do have Ser Topi playing as the Warp Spider Exarch. Starting off this game we do see Ser Topi starting off with the double Dire Avengers, probably going to drop down some early generators and go for a Guardian Weapons team as his next purchase, and in fact he's actually opting for some Banshees. Don't know if Tex was playing random or not, or if he actually chose Lord Commissar. He's been practicing quite a lot recently, so the top he probably does know that he is IG. Just don't see many Eldar players actually building Banshees against IG. So we do see a Sentinel coming out for Tex, as the Banshees do come out for Ser Topi. So we'll see if these Banshees are going to be able to actually get it into range against the Guardsmen. We also have two sergeants, or one sergeant coming out for a Guardsman squad. And we have the Warp Spider just teleporting around, being very annoying. And we have some Dire Avengers also moving on to the right hand side, while Banshees and another squad of Dire Avengers are off to the left, capping at the same time as another squad of Guardsmen is as well. Warp Spider is going to take some shelter inside this building here. It is half health, and these Dire Avengers will take shelter in a different building, being extremely annoying towards Tex. Tex is on 450 DPs, 500 DPs for Ser Topi. Ser Topi is getting a bit of an early lead there. We do have some Dire Avengers fighting some Guardsmen over here, and these Guardsmen are actually gaining a Sergeant as well, and they will need to retreat away. They do see the Banshees coming in, so they know that they can't win this fight. Lord Commissar is going to get kited around a little bit. He does actually force off Dire Avengers and does pick off a model here with his last pistol. Warp Spider is going to hide behind some cover, and Sentinel is going to go mid and going to decap this VP. It's going to be a... all the VPs are actually going to go neutral in a second with these Dire Avengers on the decap. And not sure if the Warp Spider will be able to cap in time. He will need to teleport away and go into the building, which he does. And off to the side you have actually some Banshees bashing a power node. Still no generators for either player, just power nodes for both players. And we do have a Guardian Weapons team coming out for Ser Topi now. These Banshees really want this power node. As soon as they get it, they'll probably retreat away. And straight away, we do see the power node getting repurchased. Warp Spider is still inside this building, being very annoying, and the Lord Commissar is getting quite low. Only on 140 HP, does have the refractor shield, but doesn't have any energy to use it right now. These guys will need to get out of here before they lose any models. We'll lose one model and retreat though, but they will be fine. And Lord Commissar will need to be careful. There's turn the refractor shield, but it's not going to be enough. He's only on 40 HP, he's very aggressive here. Actually gets in, gets a special, and will run away. Had he not gotten that special, I think he could have gone down. But anyway, gets out of there 15 to 16 HP, very close. And we have the Guardian Weapons team now setting up mid. The Sentinel and Guardsman will need to be a bit careful. Sentinel's half health, needs to get repaired up, and we do see the repair coming in now for Tex. We do have some Rangers out on the field. Don't have their Pathfinder gear yet, don't know if they are going to get their Pathfinder gear yet, and do see some generators getting built now, one by each player at the same time. Kind of even timing there. Sentinel looks like he wants to try and poke at some Dire Avengers. Needs to be very careful, it's taking a lot of range damage now. Double Dies and Guardian Weapons team will shred at each Sentinel if it gets a bit too close. There's some Banshees off to the side, and they will try and jump in here for some action, but the Guardsmen are going to retreat away. The Sentinel is very low. It's only on 50 HP, they have some Castrations coming in. These Guardsmen are getting quite low, will be forced into retreat. And the Sentinel here is actually getting chased away by some Banshees, and a Ranger shot comes in to take it out. These Rangers already paying themselves off. Very nice. Ser Topi on the field with a lot of units in comparison to Tex. Tex only on double Guardsmen, Castrations versus double Dies, Banshees, Guardian Weapons team and Rangers. Lord Commissar does have the Aura of Discipline as well, which is going to sink in very nicely with these Castrations now out on the field, but he needs to be careful. There isn't anywhere for him to really hide. He is getting low. You see the Rangers taking up, looks like they are going to take down the shot. We do have some guardsmen coming in here as well. These Guardians do lose 2 models, and Commissar tries to chase, but can't really with the heavy weapons team being there. You do see the unreliable getting used now to try and interrupt the Guardian weapons team. These Casterons are taking quite a bit of damage from Dwarf Spider. Dwarf Spider doesn't have any upgrades just yet. We do see a smoke grenade going down, which looks a bit more like an explosion, but these guys will be forced off. These Casterons will also be forced off. We have a second squad of Casterons coming out now, 4 techs. Very interesting choice to get double Casterons. I do like the idea of double Casterons though, and nice grenade coming in here for Ser Topi. Does take down 4 models straight away. That's why they could force melee. Actually no, he'll teleport away. They'll see the second squad of Casterons coming out now. We do see that all unreliable from the new Casteron squad actually takes down a Guardian model there on the Guardian weapons team. Tech's only on 1 generator still, so Topi is getting his 3rd generator up. It's still finishing. Okay, and here are the generators, sniper techs. And VPs are 316 to 497, so Topi in a strong position VP wise. We do have some rangers actually firing away at the Casterons down here. We'll be fine though. Do have another shot going down on them. Could also see the kinetic pulse if they get a bit too close. We do see the unreliable getting used onto this building once again. And wow, the Guardian weapons team actually gets wiped. Both Casterons using their unreliable there and actually just kills them straight up. And even though he just won by, or wipes the squad there, so Topi is in control of the majority of the map, is on a triple cap as well. Is going to replace that Guardian weapons team that he did lose. Banshees are here as well. They still don't have their aspect yet, no aspects of strength or aspects of fleetness, but are still very annoying nonetheless. These Rangers doing a very nice kinetic pulse, actually catches all models there. And you do see the unreliable again being used onto these Rangers. Rangers will get out there, they are retreating away, so they didn't get knocked over. And these Banshees went a bit deep into base now and could go down. Casterons do have the power melee, and could see an unreliable come in as well to finish them off. The unreliable falls just a bit short though. You do see a smoke grenade coming in here. They will lose a model and they do get forced off because double diagrams coming in, which also gets forced off at the same time as well. And Lord Commissar still here, still that aura of discipline, still at level 1, and we do see techs actually taking up to tier 2 first, so Topi is still not tier 2 yet, which I'm quite surprised about. Does have enough resources to tech up, so we could see him tech up very soon. Off to the right hand side we do have some Casterons, we have some Dull Guardsmen. They are going to try and secure some map control, which is much needed right now, since most of the map is still red. We do have the VPs 173 to 497, that's quite a big difference here, and we do have some Rangers poking down these Casterons. Tex does need to focus down onto these VPs. And VPs are going to carry on ticking down, but it's going to be a 1-1 cap now. But it's going to be a 2-1 cap in a second when Ser Topi actually just capture the left hand side. And what's like is also going to decap Tex's VP, going to make it a 2-0 cap, and it's going to put a lot of pressure onto Tex right now. The Topi does start taking up to tier 2, is a bit far behind in comparison to Tex, or not too far behind, but he is a bit later. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. A fast camera could come out, but I'm not too sure. They have the Casterons using the unreliable to take down this Guardian weapons team to get them to unset up. We do have the Casterons also dropping an improvised explosive and also the flare as well. The Lord Commissar global ability again dropped to reduce the range of all units surrounded or covered by that flare. We do have a bit of a power basher on the go over here. We do have Casterons and Guardsmen, so let's see. Casterons aren't interested in bashing, but the Guardsmen will carry on bashing. This improvised explosive is getting spotted by some Rangers though. This generator should go down. Casterons coming in here to protect against the Banshees. These Banshees without their mark are going to struggle to get in because the Fleet of Foot actually grants damage reduction in when you're sprinting in, so it does help to try and get your Banshees in, and then without it it's going to make it a bit difficult. These dive rangers are getting meleeed down by some Casterons and they do get knocked back. and actually takes down the energy shield. A nice grenade though for Ser Topi. It does half health the squad, but the squad will be fine, doesn't lose any models. So we'll see if that low health squad will get picked off. There are some rangers making their way over now, so we'll try and get some models out of the fort. Heavy weapons team coming out for Tex is his first tier 2 purchase, even though it's a tier 1 unit, and we have a Falcon coming out for Ser Topi, so this heavy weapons team with autocannon or last cannon will be pretty decent.
Do we have a target?
Currently has no upgrades, so it's just gonna be chilling there for now. Here comes the Falcon, so we could see an upgrade come in soon. We do have the Warp Spider, also trying to force melee onto these guardsmen, and double commissars as well purchased for the guardsmen. Don't have anything else purchased that I can see as of yet. These guardsmen need to be careful. The Falcon is just going to carry on picking off model by model. The Guardian Weapons team and Heavy Weapons team are going to fight each other probably, so they won't back out of that. And the Banshees do actually have their mark. They do have the aspect of strength now, which will give their executioner a heavy melee weapon. About 51 heavy melee DPS, so it's good against vehicles, good against everything really. Very nice improvised explosives, actually destroys this Banshee and Dire Avenger squad. They will live, but it does take quite a few models there though. DP is 120 to 480. And we do have some mines actually getting dropped down onto the centre of the map. They will be spotted by some rangers that are still lurking around. The Lord Commissar is getting quite low. We'll get out of there. We'll not use his refractor shield, so it does have full energy still. And some Ogrins now coming out for Tex. Still these double cations, both of their explosive kit or demolition man. Still no sergeant though for the melter gun. So the weapons team does need to be a bit careful there. And we will see some Ogrins try and get in there, I'd imagine. Ogrins do have their bonehead as well now, so we will see how that goes. We could see the Bionic Eye upgrade for Lord Commissar as well at some point to inspire determination, give the Ogrins a massive amount of speed, allowing them to easily get into melee combat, unless some strong force is going to stop them. These double guardsmen will do very well against these double Dire Avengers, but with the Falcon there, these Dire Avengers will be able to just out-reinforce the guardsmen. The sergeants and the guardsmen are walking very far forward. The sergeants are pretty much in melee range, and being that sergeants are pretty much the last model to die, need to be careful about them running so far ahead. Double Castations, Ogrins, and Lord Commissar off to the right hand side. Actually, Lord Commissar's not off to the right hand side, my bad. The Ogrins though and some Castations are here, and I think there's Castations mid. Yep. So they're just going to go around off to the side while double guardsmen are going to fight. And here comes the Falcon. These Castations will retreat before they lose any models, and the Ogrins will bash the power as well. The Lord Commissar is going to go head on into a Guardian Weapons team here. A flare is dropped, and these guardsmen are going to try and poke it down. But for some reason they keep wanting to move a bit too close. These Ogrins need to be careful, they are quite low. This Falcon also needs to be careful now, but he can easily kite these Ogrins. These Ogrins are a little bit low, and they are charging in though, and Falcon is getting quite low. It's half health, but it will be fine. And here comes the Aura of Discipline now to heal up these Ogrins. I don't know if it's going to be enough against Ranger Fire and Falcon Fire. You see Tex is starting to take some good control of the map now. He's about to be on the triple cap. He's got control of some Requisition and on the right hand side, which he didn't have earlier. And he's been also decapping this fully matured Requisition over here on the left. And is actually going to go tier 3 as well. And Ser Topi is still tier 2. Doesn't got anything new from what I can see. Has got some upgrades on his Dire Avengers, which he's had for a while, but other than that I'm not actually sure what he's purchased. He has got the anti-gravity grenade actually for the Warp Spider, so we could see that come into play later. Be a very nice counter to well, to anything really, go nicely with the Dire Avengers, throw the units up in the air and then throw some grenades on the units that are in midair, and here at the mines they're actually getting taken down, are detected by Rangers, so there will be some cleanup in mid front Ser Topi. Okay, we do have Tex almost completed with his tier 3, these Ogres are still healing up from the Aura of Discipline, but still quite slow. We do actually have an extra generator here for Tex as well. These Banshees now have their X-Arc, these Catachans are coming in here, they do use their shotgun blast onto the Banshees, they don't actually have much energy left. Not enough energy for a ult unreliable, so they will need to get out of there. All the Catachan abilities are 40 energy from what I remember, so now they have enough energy, but they didn't have enough before. And this Falcon's still kicking around. He's going to pick off some more guardsmen. These guardsmen will need to retreat out of there or just keep walking back anyway. And Falcon looks like he wants to actually just chase down and carry down, poking. But we'll need to be careful.
We're losing a requisition point.
His heavy weapons team actually is getting an upgrade now. It's upgrading to the auto cannon, which is quite nice. The Falcon's not that tanky, so you don't really need a last cannon unless you really want a hard counter it, and auto cannon would be more than enough. And auto cannons are good against Dire Avengers, Banshees and everything else as well, so it's not going to be useless when you've already killed Falcon, you ain't left with the last cannon. Okay, here come the power blades now for the Warp Spider, giving him some heavy melee. And very nice to use anti-gravity grenade with an auto. That is a very nice combination. And heavy weapons actually goes down completely to the Warp Spider, and you can see this Guardsman squad actually go down. The auto Shuriken pistol is not enough. And off to the right hand side we do have some Catachans, the Ogrings and Lord Commissar as well. But a Leman Russ now coming out is spotted already. And let's see if he's going to get any upgrades, and we could see the Executioner for the splash damage, or we could see a elite crew as well for the extra health and vision, and we do see the double ult unreliable, but it does actually miss the auto. The auto will get out of there by the skin of her teeth, and this Falcon now the double Dire Avengers. Some grenades going down, grenades will be dodged though. And the Right Lance weapon team coming out now to counter this Leman Russ, but the double Catachans and Ogrings on the field, this Right Lance weapons team will need to be very careful. Rangers are still kicking around, and Ser Topi doesn't have any units, and very nice. Leman Russ shot there actually just takes down a Ranger without any problem. Also off to the left hand side with his power blades. 53.5 heavy melee DPS, that's especially from a ranged hero. And Bright Lance is just poking away at this Leman Russ, does bring it down to 570 health. And here comes the auto. She will Sky Leap back in the air so that an auto drop can be used later on. And if you upgrade your auto and you do the Sky Leap ability, you still keep your upgrade, so like don't worry too much about it if you accidentally press it and you think, oh my god, I lost an auto with an Executioner, because you can just call it back in again. And it only costs you red, it doesn't cost you, you don't have to rebuy it like power and requisition wise, you just have to pay the red for the actual drop itself. And these Rangers, now with the hollow field, are actually going to stealth in here with the Bright Lance weapons team. This Bright Lance weapons team will need to be careful. Leman is very difficult to take down, and this Bright Lance could go down actually, it will go down in fact. Very nice win there for Tex. These Rangers are going to be the next target. Now they do drop down to 2 models, it looks like they will get out of there fine, assuming the Falcon gets out of there fine. Falcon is much faster than Leman, so it should do. And the thing to know about Leman has, I think, is a 35% damage reduction to any kind of source of damage, so although it does have 800 health, it is a bit deceiving. Then I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's going to go down at the same speed as a Space Marine Predator, but it's not. It's going to be much more difficult to take down. And we have the Falcon, which needs to be a bit careful here. The Leman's actually going to focus down these Dire Avengers instead. One shot taking down 2 models there. These heavy bosses on the side as well, going to do some nice work. And Ser Topi actually has no counter for this Leman Russ right now, other than these Executioner Banshees and the Warp Spider with the heavy melee. Actually, he does have another bright lance weapon team, my bad. I didn't see that. So that will come in, but I think a warp spider squad call-in might be quite nice right now with the haywire grenade. Just to keep the Leman Russ in place, because Leman Russ is going to just keep on driving back. Falcon actually barely scraping out there. These Banshees are going to try and go in, but losing models as they're getting in there. And they will retreat away. We do have some Rangers out in the field. They are quite low, but they do have 3 models there. And it is a triple cap for Tex now. Tex actually making his way back into this game, was very low on VPs, was something like 100 to 500 VP cap, and nice time make his way back in. And here comes the anti-gravity grenade from the warp spider. Does lift up that guardian weapons, does lift up that guardsman squad. The warp spider is just going to hammer away at them. And here comes that warp drop once again. Very nice to catch the guardsmen there, but the guardsmen are retreating away. We do have Ogreens off to the side, we do have some Cassicans now coming in for Tex. They don't have any upgrades yet, and I'm not sure what I just saw there. But we do have some Dire Avenger grenades coming in onto these Ogreens. The Lord Commissar is very low, and these Ogreens are just going in for the Falcon. They really want this Falcon. This Falcon needs to keep backing out. Okay, Ogreens will get forced off. These Cassicans still without any grenade launchers or plasmas or melters, but we do have the double Cassicans coming in here. And I believe that was the art and reliable from both squads actually getting used on the ground to stop these Banshees from coming in any closer, but these Cassicans have no business fighting these Falcons, so they really need to get out of there. And these Rangers are dead. Power melee from Cassicans is extremely strong. I think it's 120 power melee the squad actually does, because it's 20 power melee per model. So that is very... that is a lot of damage. The warp side will go down though to these guardsmen up to the side. And in mid we do have the Leman fighting the Falcon. The Falcon will struggle big time. The Falcon does have some soft AV damage, but not enough to fight a Leman Russ though, and the Leman is actually focusing down some Dire Avengers, making Ser Topi actually bleed and cost him some requisition to carry on reinforcing his Dire Avengers, and the Falcon will go down I think. Actually the Leman misses a shot by the looks of it, and Leman will drive away there since the Bright Lance weapon team has set up. 39 to 138. Tex with the Leman Russ is just very strong, and he is actually floating quite a lot of resources. Ser Topi has been low on resources for the majority of the game after leading Banshee models or Dire Avenger models. Elder models are extremely expensive to replace in comparison to IG. You've got Dire Avengers which cost 30 requisition to replace, and you've got Banshees which are 35, Guardsmen are 17, and that's for 2 models or 3 models in the case of Tex, because he does have Commissars on his Guardsmen. So the price difference can
They have
be
100 points,
quite
sir.
big. So you do need to pick your fights quite carefully. You have some improvised explosives just sitting around here, where this one does get detected will explode. And you have the Leman Russ coming in from behind, supported by some guardsmen. So this will be the final fight, I think. Triple cap for Tex, so the VPs are going to tick down. If Tex can just drag out this fight, then he should be able to just win it. Have some Dyers in retreat now, and the Falcon. Right, let's have to see these Dyers and the Warp Spider are a bit stuck right now. Tex is just trying to keep Ser Topi tied into this corner so that he can't go for any VPs in that, but Tex will just go in anyway because he can just win this fight straight up. You do see Bright Lance weapons team actually retreating away, and they are going to take quite a lot of damage in retreat. I don't think they will go down though. Looks like they'll barely get out of there, but 30 HP. The Falcon is now an absolute corner. VP's 39 to 12. It looks like Tex is just going to take this game. Does actually make the comeback.
So we're almost finished here.
This Falcon will go down before the game ends, I think. Nope. Just as Leman Russ is about to fire, the Falcon lives, and that is GG. And victory will go to Tex. Tex was losing that game. It looked like he was losing that game earlier, but he does manage to pull his way through. Very nicely done.